Aloha, everybody. You can probably tell I'm one of the Hawaii companies. Our company is called Chipin Calm, and I think Mike Ikola gave us a really nice sort of intro, so I'll take my 5 minutes to try to give you a bit more details. I see a lot of laptops in the audience. If you want to go to chipin.com and maybe show your neighbors. Since I don't have a PowerPoint, I can use you to help me. We've developed a technology based around widgets, and you've maybe heard about widgets a lot online. YouTube is a widget, ability to view videos. You've probably seen your kids or your grandkids' pages on MySpace having lots of little decorations on it. Well, we don't do that. We actually use that technology in the enterprise arena. I imagine a lot of you in the audience today, CEOs or executives at companies, wouldn't it be nice if on your laptop right now you had a little view of the day's financial status or what the inventory on your factory looked like? Well, what our technology does is a display technology that takes very sophisticated back-end data, be it Salesforce, SAP, Oracle, and we display it. We display it in a way that is useful to you, meaning discrete chunks of data that can be transported onto a web page, onto your desktop computer, onto your phone. It is the next generation, we believe, in how data will be managed by humans online. So what we've done is we've taken that technology and we've deployed it in a first marketplace, which is the nonprofit sector. At Chipin.com, if you're at the website right now, we provide and license a fundraising widget. So we were listening earlier to Peter talking about the X prize. Well, one could see this widget being spread around the internet to say if everyone on the planet gave $1 to solve a world's problem, let's say it's solving cancer, we'd get a lot of money collected. Our widgets will allow you to not only donate the money, but it would give you a running total of how much money has been collected. Now, this can be used in all sorts of different arenas. It can be used for enterprise data management. It can be used for fundraising. It can be used for political advocacy. So we've got a couple presidential campaigns using our widget technology to connect and collect money. So they connect with their constituents by providing a means by which to display video, a means by which to get information back from their constituents, what of these three issues is most pressing to you, and ability to distribute that. So one of the concepts that we've been working with is basically user-generated or people-powered distribution. So what makes widgets so different? We've taken technology, we've taken data, we've displayed it, but now we've made it transportable. It can be shared with your friends, it can be shared with your colleagues, it can be shared with other people online to communicate and to share information. Some other technologies that we've been developing, again, what we specialize in is really that display feature. It's how do we take data and make it usable. We also have technology that is basically PowerPoint on steroids. Most of you, I'm sure, have used PowerPoint in some way for presentation. You've seen the ability that you can import images, resize it, drag it along a PowerPoint page. Well, we've taken that same technology now and made it available as a web page, as a basically business intelligence dashboard. So let's go back to an executive who has many different divisions, lots of information that he or she has got to aggregate. Well, we've got an interface now that you can take a widget that maybe is pulling in your Oracle financial services data. It can bring in a widget maybe from your Salesforce CRM package. It can bring in a widget off your inventory line off your factory. So all of a sudden we found, have used our technology and have seen it as a really good way to organize data. There's so much information that everyone has to deal with now. We have now taken that and encapsulated in a way that you can now communicate with that data. One last example I want to give you is a demo we just did to the County of Arlington, Virginia. The building permit process, 12 steps. You normally traditionally file your permit, it takes weeks to hear back. With our widget technology, you can actually file that permit on our widget, and you'll be given a little piece of code that you can put on your website that will tell you of those 12 steps how far along your building permit has gone. So another good example, I think, of how, again, the distribution of information will be more proactive to, again, the edges versus the centralized method that you find today. So thank you so much. If any other questions, I'll be in the back. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Nasser Peyghambarian. I'm the founder of TIPD. And I have with me Pavel Polenkin, who is the director of our engineering at TIPD, and he's going to be this afternoon at the booth discussing with you about our product. So TIPD is a spin-off of the University of Arizona College of Optical Sciences, and it's a privately held company. It's about a year old, and it's based on two products, commercialization of two products. Both of those products are based on nanotechnology and polymer technology. The first product is what we call a nano-Tesla sensor. So what that means is that sensors that measures magnetic fields up to sensitivity of 10 to minus 15 Tesla. And as you may know, brain activities happen in that kind of a femtotesla type numbers, and so it's good for imaging those activities. That product is still in the earlier development of its life, and so therefore we are focusing right now today on a second product, which is an optical modulator. So optical modulator, what is optical modulator? If you look at our current communication system, it's what's called optical, is based on an optical backbone. That means that any information, given as voice, data, or video, ends up in fiber lasers that are connecting major cities and continents. So optical modulators allow that conversion of information into optical pulses. So every laser in the communication system has a modulator attached to it that convert that information into optical pulses. So currently, the TIPD is focused on making these modulators at low cost, very low cost, at much lower power consumption and much higher speeds. So the current technology that exists is based on lithium niobate, crystals of lithium niobate. They have operating voltage or drive voltages of about 3 to 4 volt and operating speeds of about 10 to 40 gigabit per second. Our technology, which was featured 2 months ago on the cover of Nature Photonics, is based on polymer technology. Is basically a printable technology. The drive voltages are down by a factor of almost 10. We are down to about 0.5 volt for drive voltage, which pretty much reduces the power considerably, and the speeds of 100 gigabit per second and more. So this is based, all this technology is based on polymers, and that's what we are currently doing. So this opportunity comes about because of the $1.2 billion market. This market is mostly based on datacom and telecom. So datacom on longer distances and datacom on the shorter distances and telecom on longer distances, in addition to cable TV business and also in military and defense communication, especially satellite communication, where power consumption is very, very important. So based on these markets, these segments of markets, we have built our company on that basis. So on a final note, I would like to mention an article that I read in New York Times about a week ago that described that the VCs these days, they like to focus their investment mostly on entrepreneurs that are in their 20s, and that mainly comes from the fact that big successes like Google and Yahoo and so on were based on founders that were in their 20s. And looking at the FiReStarters this morning and some in the afternoon, I guess I'm hoping that the VCs are not following that trend too strictly, or otherwise some of us are going to go hungry. Thanks very much.
Good afternoon. It's a real pleasure to be here. I'm George Jensen, Chairman, CEO of USA Technologies. We're located outside of Philadelphia in Malvern. We have roughly 60 employees. We just started trading on NASDAQ under the symbol USAT. And after spending millions of dollars on research and development, we have emerged as the leader for cashless transactions and network services for certain markets. We're number one in all the areas that we participate. We have 65 patents to protect the opportunity, and we feel vending is our number one opportunity, and we're loaded with talent, people from Coke, Pepsi in our company, MBI, Schlumberger, and the vending industry is a $46 billion all-cash business, the largest all-cash business in America. It is considered to be the last frontier to potentially go cashless. And we have a product called ePort for credit card vending, which can be retrofitted to any vending machine in just 10 minutes. It's wireless, it's turnkey. Our customers do not have to get certified for unattended use. If they had to, they wouldn't know where to begin. So you can have rapid deployment with this product. We have developed a strong value proposition, one in which everyone wins, and that's what you really need for explosive growth, as we all know. Whether it be the consumer, our customers, or ourselves. For the consumer, it's all about speed and convenience, and they're educated. They love the self-serve ATMs and the pay at the pumps. They're educated. For our customers, it's all about a rise in revenue, which credit card purchasing power brings. We're seeing the average transaction is 32% higher with credit cards. That generates a very nice ROI for our customers. And they can get data to run their business better. They go into our USA Live network right off their laptop or computer with a password, and they can see the entire money flow, coins, bills, credit cards. And now all of a sudden, they can run their business better. They can stop the pilferage, which is expected. It's believed to be 3 to 5% of the gross revenue of this huge business, your own employees stealing from you. So now you can hold them accountable. And we think this is a value proposition for our customers you can take all over the world. And it clearly is a worldwide opportunity. And for ourselves, we have multiple revenue streams with known revenues every step of the way. There's no speculation in our business model. We sell hardware for known returns. We have network service fees of roughly $10 per month for getting all the data, and the wireless cost is included in that. We make money on credit card processing and activation fees. I think you'll appreciate hearing that that $10 a month service fee, we do not even have to invoice for it. We act as a super merchant, and the money flow goes from the consumer to the credit card processor to us in 72 hours. Every Friday, we EFT to our customers. It's a clean business model. And imagine if you had hundreds of thousands of connections and you had to invoice for those service fees. Between slow pay and no pay, there'd be no margins. By doing it this way, we'll enjoy a very nice margin at a very competitive price to the marketplace. And we also take all forms of cashless, whether it be credit cards, debit cards, student ID, PIN numbers, prepaid cards, payroll deducts, RF technology, the cell phone, which is going to come into this market very, very strong soon. And we also take the new contactless credit card, which I want to tell you a little bit about. The new contactless credit card, 20 million of them in the marketplace, 100 million coming, several hundred million on the way over the next few years. Mag stripe on the back, chip on the front, better security, antenna in it. The slogan, as you've probably seen, is tap and go. It brought MasterCard to us as a customer, and we are seeding the vending industry with MasterCard in a very high-profile, multi-million-dollar rollout. They are literally buying our product, giving it to our customers, creating huge goodwill for everybody, and our customers, of course, pay the other fees, but they get the hardware free. We have some 10,000 connections to our network. 3,400 went in the last quarter. We're told by Nielsen we're 90% of the marketplace, and yet they're predicting some 4 million machines will get retrofitted over the next few years. So you can see we're in our infancy of something that could and should be very, very big. We also have other exciting products like eSuds for college laundry. eSuds was on CNN, Fox News, 100 newspapers, could prove to be a killer app. Imagine when you were in college, you could go online, see if the washer and dryers were available before you went to the washroom, paid for a cashless student ID PIN number, and then you get a text message or an email when it's all said and done. So this is another strong product. And we have a vision of our company of taking these products all over the world, hopefully decades of growth and millions of connections. And with that, I'd like to say thank you and hope to talk to you later this afternoon with Steve Herbert, our president.
Hello, my name is Matt Moynahan. I'm president and CEO of a company called Veracode. Veracode's vision is to become the Moody's of software, quite simply. We're out to change the world of software and specifically make it easy and cost-effective for anyone who writes code, from the individual to the enterprise, to find out how secure that code is. If you take a look at the software industry, it's a $350 billion industry annually in new software sales. 60 billion of customized code is built on top of that. 40 billion is outsourced to India and the US alone. There is 300 billion lines of legacy code out there running all of the world's financial transactions, and over 100 million websites. I'm sure you're very familiar with a lot of the media that's been out there as the attack profile for applications has moved from script kiddies who are out there trying to defame Amazon or other organizations to organized crime, who is now going out there for monetary gain. You have several high-profile instances of this. Over the past year or 2 years, over 100 million credit cards have been breached. TJX's stock price has dropped over 10%, clearly showing the link between operational risk and market risk, and you have concerns about cyber terrorism. So despite the size of the software industry and the ramifications of security breaches, there's no idea or no consistent view on security quality for software. And in many cases, there's no idea how secure that software is. How can that be? The easy answer is to blame developers for that, but that isn't the right answer. Conventional tools out there to solve this problem consist of humans looking at code and tools, and both of them are inadequate for three reasons in today's application development environment. First is a people issue. Out there aren't enough good people who understand security. Blaming developers is like asking a civil engineer to do an electrical engineer's job. Eyeballs get tired. You can't look at code fast enough for all the code that's out there, and they're costly. So there's a fundamental supply shortage of good people that are out there. Two, there's a process issue. The application development environment has moved from a single site, single code base, single team development back in the early 80s to one where it's distributed globally. I used to work for Symantec, managing the Norton Antivirus Group, and we had 5 to 6 development teams globally contributing to that. Different types of code coming into that code base. Now you're going to start seeing things like enterprise mashup applications and web services where you really have mixed code bases with really no insight as to where that code is coming from or how secure it is. So there's a process issue here. As code development has gone global, our ability to actually find out how secure it is has gone down. The third issue is a technology issue. Humans and tools can only look at source code. Source code is the IP of organizations. You've heard time and time again about Microsoft and other concerns for making their source code available because of the concerns around IP infringement. There's no way for an independent third party to do an assessment of security without potentially getting access to the crown jewels of an organization. You're not going to be able to do that Coke versus Pepsi taste test in the aisle if you had to have access to the secret formula. So there is a technology issue as well. Enter Veracode. Veracode has tried to create a solution that solves all of those problems and essentially brings application security to the masses regardless of where that code lives. It's a massive, massive opportunity. We've done this by leveraging two technology breakthroughs. The first is doing code analysis at the binary level. Binary or executables or object code or the ones and zeros, as you may have heard in the past, is essentially the final code base that is running on the internet. That has two fundamental advantages. One is that we see everything in the application regardless of where it came from. It's the application that's running on the internet, so we can look at 100% of the code. Second, and probably most importantly, is the reduced IP risk associated with looking at ones and zeros. There's no access to source code. The second innovation that we've had is we've taken that and stood it up as an on-demand platform, leveraging all the benefits from a Salesforce.com and NetSuite and those pioneers that have gone before us. So what you have, very simply, with Veracode solving a very, very difficult problem, is a secure code assurance center on the internet that allows anyone, anywhere, anytime, to upload ones and zeros or binary code and get the same level of robust enterprise security analysis that you would if you had all the world's best tools and humans applied to it. It is the first automated, on-demand, and outsourced code security testing service in the world. And we're very excited by this because we feel that the on-demand platform plus binary allows us really to reach code globally and allow us to drive down prices with a service that for the first time can avail itself as an outsourced code security testing capability that hasn't been available to date. And so our vision for the company is to bring that capability to the masses cost effectively so that we can make it easy for organizations to do the right thing, which is to secure their code and do it in a way that doesn't put their business at risk, but fundamentally overall lifts the security level and the quality of code that's out there on the internet. Quickly about Veracode, we're about 42 people. We're backed by Polaris, Atlas, and have been fortunate to assemble a great team, including some of the industry luminaries across both the enterprise, the banking industry, the security metrics industry, getting behind us to really help us develop a solution that really works across all the players in the software supply chain so that we can fulfill our mission of becoming the Moody's of software. We'll be in the back, and we look forward to speaking with you during the break. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rick Spurr. I am Chairman and CEO of the ZixCorp. We are a publicly traded company traded on the NASDAQ under the symbol ZIXI. We provide two platform technologies that are hosted by us and delivered in a service as a software model. The first of these technologies provides persistent end-to-end encryption. And that just in and of itself may not sound very exciting, but the way we deliver it is quite unique. And that is in this service model where all of the identities are shared within communities of interest for automatic, if you will, by definition, compatibility and interoperability. The encryption technology, there was a gentleman from Symantec yesterday that talked about the advent of the internet providing this powerful tool for any-to-any connectivity, but it came to us with one major flaw, and that was the lack of the concept of identity, which creates then a highly vulnerable, insecure mechanism. Because of that, industries like finance, healthcare, and government, in many of their application workflows, were restricted and are restricted without a tool similar to ours, restricted from actually using the internet for common everyday workflow improvements. What we do is we actually enroll senders and receivers, and in doing so we create a public-private key pair or an identity. Those identities are then stored and managed by us and automatically served up as people move email around within a community of interest. Once we've created a single identity for a sender or a receiver, that's the only identity they need moving forward. We have the Metcalfe law working in our advantage, which says the value of the overall network goes up exponentially as more and more people join the party. Our Zix directory, where we house these IDs, now contains 8 million individual IDs and is growing at a rate of 50 to 60,000 per week. In the financial services industry, we are proud today to say that we have just finished our sweep of all the regulators who regulate all of the financial institutions in the United States. Collectively, they're referred to as the FFIEC. It includes the FDIC, the Office of the Comptroller of Currency, the Office of Thrift Supervision, the National Credit Union Administration, and one other very large regulator whose name I can't use, but Jeb did on my behalf. And we now have 400 financial institutions, banks, credit unions, savings and loans, having added 75 of those just in the last quarter. In healthcare, we have 29 of the Blue Cross Blue Shield companies, Cigna, Humana, and now over 900 hospitals who all use this mechanism to communicate confidentially. The second hosted application provides electronic prescribing, and this allows a physician, typically primary care, to use a handheld PDA in the typical practice of medicine to prescribe prescriptions for you or some member of your family. We have solved the age-old problem of physician adoption through primarily three things coming together. Number one, we partner with and get funding for the physician from the health plan or the insurance company. They pay 100% of all the fees for the initiation of the service, the device, the training, the installation. So there's no fee to the doc. Secondly, because this is a hosted system where we have SysTrust certification, we are a HIPAA compliant provider. We provide 99.997% reliability, a 500 millisecond response time, and unquestioned security for these applications that require such a high level of security. And thirdly, we've invested in a very high touch model because physicians, we've found, require a very high level of service and support. As a result of this, we actually have a close rate when we get in front of a physician of 50%. So 1 in 2 physicians signs up for our service. 80% complete the training, and of those, 65 to 70% will write scripts forever. It's a recurring funding model, as you might imagine. In years 2 and beyond, we get script fees from the insurance companies as well as continued funding for the license. So e-prescribing is the killer app, which puts a device in the hand of a doctor and creates a real-time decision support linkage between an insurance company and a doctor. So e-prescribing is just the first step. As our gentleman, Eric Dishman, said the other day, there's a $1.9 trillion healthcare spend in the United States annually. And I think I've now been told I'm out of time. The idea, though, is to influence the doctor, and the decisions are made to increase patient safety, improve patient care, and of course lower healthcare costs in the United States of America. Thank you for your time. I think I've exhausted my stay, but hopefully it was of value. My cohort, David Robertson, and I will be demonstrating our product in the back of the room here. Thanks for your day.